Hurricane Headquarters, sponsored by Entergy.
All right, an update here at 6:15 tonight. Calcasieu Parish schools will be closing ahead of Francine's landfall. They're going to be shut down both tomorrow and Wednesday, and their school board meeting has been rescheduled from tomorrow to the 17th. Let's bring back in Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn in our hurricane headquarters tonight. Walk us through what you're expecting over the next day or so here.
Well, I think as we head towards, say, late Tuesday, tomorrow night, and Wednesday is probably going to be the closest approach. We think towards mid-morning through the mid part of the day into the early afternoon hours before this thing really rapidly moves off to the north and east. Good evening, everyone. Looking at increasing cloudiness out over in Port Arthur. This view courtesy of Kelly High School, part of the Roofing 911 Skycam network. Obviously, the headlines include Francine. Drier weather rapidly then follows the storm on Thursday, and then we'll see a slight chance as we head towards next Monday. Our weather impacts locally, we expect rain and wind late Tuesday, and specifically as we head towards Wednesday morning around noontime into the early afternoon hours. What are we expecting? The lakes area will see lesser impacts than here along the coastline and in the triangle. The heaviest rains will be in the triangle. The greatest winds, the highest winds, which will probably be low wind tropical storm force wind gusts here in the triangle is what we're kind of seeing. So again, tropical storm warnings in effect for southern Jasper, southern Newton, back over into Orange County and Jefferson County. That's where we could see some wind gusts 40, 45, maybe 50 miles an hour, depending upon the exact track of the storm. But again, obviously it's going to be stronger if you head over towards southwest Louisiana. Otherwise, storm surge warning from Sabine Pass over towards High Island. We should have a northeasterly wind, so that will hopefully decrease the issues as far as along the coastline. Regardless, this is going to be a big storm as it heads rapidly off to the north and east. One thing I want to point out, we've been talking about the shear as far as it moving down the coastline. We've also been talking about water temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico. The nearshore waters are cooler. We also want to point out there's a lot of dry air over Texas that could get entrained into the storm, and that could induce weakening as it approaches the coastline. So there's a lot of factors, or at least three factors, that I think could be a down player as far as the intensity as it approaches the Louisiana coastline. That's what we're certainly hoping for. Otherwise, this is the puppy we've been talking about, trough of low pressure, strong southwesterly wind shear. And we've been talking about how initially when the Hurricane Center put out their cone, we said it's going to move east. Well, it sure did. Why? Because of this shear and also because of this approaching trough of low pressure, thinking it's going to be pushing it off to the east. A lot of shear as it approaches the northern coast, Gulf Coast. So that's another player that could hopefully keep this in check or at least weaken it as it approaches the Louisiana coastline. So right now the storm is at 65-mile-per-hour winds, gusting to near hurricane force. Notice the lack of thunderstorm activity on the southwest side, and again, some of that dry air could be entrained into the storm. So that would be a great situation to help weaken the storm. Regardless, it is expected to become a hurricane tonight and slowly move off towards the north as we head through early afternoon hours on Tuesday. Then, as it continues to gain latitude, that southwesterly wind shear is going to pick it up and really push it on off to the north and east quickly. So late morning, mid-morning Wednesday into the early afternoon hours is when it's going to make its closest approach, where there are hurricane warnings from Sabine Pass eastward, and you saw the tropical storm force or tropical storm warnings over southeast Texas. And again, it could go anywhere within this cone. That's what we're thinking, obviously. So this is one model, and it shows the strongest winds as the storm goes off to the east, off toward our east, but again, clipping our area with the strongest winds closer to the coast, 1 to 3 inches, heavier amounts off to the east. Tonight we'll see increasing cloud cover and a dry night, but we'll start to see showers increasing as we head towards tomorrow afternoon. And as you can see, it'll only increase as we work on into, say, Wednesday. Tropical storm warnings on the Gulf of Mexico tomorrow for choppy seas around 2 to 4. Easterly winds are expected. Our forecast tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies, no rain, lows mid to upper 60s to lower 70s. Tomorrow we'll go with a 40 to 60% coverage. Highs in the low to mid 80s. 7-day forecast. Late Tuesday through the day on Wednesday is when we expect the weather impacts locally across southeast Texas. Could be some heavy rain, particularly along the coastline. It's going to be breezy or windy and that's what we're expecting. Then Thursday, rapidly moving out and improving. And then as we head towards Friday, sun returns, dry weather, and it looks like a warm, humid weekend across southeast Texas.